y'all, welcome back. Yesterday, I look in the sky and I see a cross. So these last couple months, oh my God has just been really pouring out his love to me. He's been speaking to me about this is the season of suddenly. Things are going to happen suddenly. Things are going to change suddenly. He's been speaking to me about this being the season of a double portion, double favor. My initial thought when I saw that cross was, God is raising the dead things back to life. Again, this is something that I spoke about previously, but he gave me a fresh word this morning that I'm going to share. Some things have to die before the resurrection takes place. So the definition of resurrect is to restore to life, to revive the practice, use, or memory of something. Other words for resurrect would be revive, restore, renew, awaken, reestablish, relaunch, renovate. To resurrect something is not just about raising it back to life, reviving a dead thing. Resurrect is also a new beginning. Anytime that you are reestablishing something or relaunching something, you're just starting over. And it's not that you're starting from scratch, you're starting again. Okay, maybe you learned some things, maybe you figured out how to do something better, but there was some refining that took place, there was some fine-tuning that took place, and now you can relaunch. When you're renovating a house, you're not starting from scratch, you're just fixing some things to present something new. So I hope you catch it, okay? Just when you think it's over, here comes resurrection life, and you will never be the same. Just when you think something is dead, just when you think that God let you down, just when you think that you didn't hear God correctly, just when you think that God is not a way maker, God is not a miracle worker, just when you think that we just need to, hey, last call so we can send it all home, just when you think. There's a story in the Bible, and this is not in the notes that I wrote. There's a story in the Bible when Jesus performed the miracle of turning the water into wine. If you're at a celebration and there's wine, once all the wine is gone, you would think it's time to wrap it on up and go home. But here it is, Jesus performs a miracle at the last minute when everything was run out. It was all gone. And here comes Jesus doing what only Jesus can do. We are living in a time where we are being invited to the party. When you have an invitation, you're being given an opportunity to experience it for yourself. When you receive an invitation, that's your call to come and join the party, to experience the party instead of having to hear about the party. And right now we're living in a time where God is calling to us to experience him in a way that we have never experienced him before, but also to experience him so that we don't have to rely on the he say, she say. God is extending the invitation of relationship. I'll just use me for an example, okay? There are people who know me. There are people who know of me, okay? The people who know of me, they may know my name. They may know certain things about me based off of what someone else said. And what that other person said may or may not be true. But the people that know me, there was an invitation extended, whether I extended the invitation of friendship or they extended the invitation of friendship. But one way or another, they got to know me on another level. We were introduced by way of religion, but an introduction is just an introduction. If you want to know more, get closer. Experience for yourself that you won't have to rely on what someone else says. And I believe that that's what God is doing right now in the world, in our personal lives. He's calling to us. He's extending us the invitation to come and get to know me. Not what they said, not what your mama said, not what your daddy said, not even what the pastor said. Come and get to know me. God is saying to us, come and get to know me for yourself. You'll get to know me for yourself, but also you have an authentic testimony that can really relate to the new generation. We are living in a time where we can no longer go off of what so-and-so said about God. It's time to experience him for ourselves because so-and-so may have been wrong or didn't have proper perspective. In life, sometimes we judge people based on certain seasons of their lives, but us judging that person because of that season, because of that decision, does not make up the full totality of that person. And I can say that because I've been through some things. I can say that because I've done some things. I've been some things. There are people who know of me that only have bad things to say about me based on that version of me that they knew. Just as there are levels to us, there are levels to God. We learn about him when we experience him seasonally. In one season, I learned him as a friend, in another, a father. In one season, I learned him as Jehovah Jireh, and in another, Jehovah Nissi. His names are who he is. It is in the seasons of life that we are able to really experience who God is and really testify that we've experienced God in that way. And I feel like God is saying, allow me to reintroduce myself along the lines of, you've heard about me, but let me introduce myself to you personally. Come and get to know me personally. I feel like we're living in a time where God is showing himself. God is displaying who he is by resurrecting some of the dead things in our lives. Some of the things that we've spoken death to, some of the things that we counted out. Some of us have been counted out. Some of us had to die to ourselves, to our habits, to the things that we've learned, things that we've picked up. Some of those things had to die. But even though some of those things, even certain parts of us had to die, certain things that we carried in life had to die, God is still able to resurrect. God is still able to breathe new life. There are certain dreams that have died, certain assignments that we think have died. As time goes on, it just looks more and more impossible. We're just getting older. Things are just getting worse. Things are just, it seems like I'm getting further and further away from the promise. And so then we get into this bubble of just doubt, worry, fear, anxiety, depression. Our hearts grow sick. We get weary. Our faith just seems to diminish and diminish. And how be it so that the very thing that should be building our faith is actually, we don't think that it's building our faith. We don't see the work. We don't see the progress that's taking place when our faith is being built. The process was a setup. What looked like a setback, it was just a setup for the miracle. And we are living in a time right now when you look at everything that's going on, you just might conclude there's absolutely no way that God is going to come through. But faith. That was a lot. That was a good bit. I hope that it encouraged you. And I know sometimes when people say stuff like this, sometimes it don't even make sense. Just give it a second. Just wait a second and just see. And don't miss it. Because if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. I hope that encouraged you the way that it encouraged me. And until next time, guys, remember, it is a daily journey.